Hello, madam. So we are from group two. So we are choose topic of discipline at the workplace. Hi, madam. My name is Durga Darshini. Today, I want to talk about topic of discipline at the workplace. The introduction is the concept of discipline in the workplace refers to the set of rules, policies, and practices established by an organization to ensure that employees adhere to certain standards of behavior, performance, and conduct. So, workplace discipline aims to create a productive, respectful, and harmonious environment where all employees can effectively contribute to the organization's goals. Then, workplace discipline encompasses a range of elements to design a maintain order to professionalism within an organization. So, the firstly, a code of conduct outlines the expected behavior and ethics for all employees. So it covers aspects such as punctuality, appreciate attire, communication, and respect for colleagues. Secondly, performance expectation disciplines also relates to maintaining performance standards. Discipline also relates to maintaining performance standards. Employees who are typically provided with their clear job descriptions, objectives, and expectations to ensure they understand their roles and responsibilities at the workplace. Moreover, rules and policies. Organizations have various policies addressing areas such as attendance, use of company resources, anti discrimination, harassment, and social media usage. These policies ensure a concerted approach to undiscipline. Discipline involves a range of consequences for non-compliance with rules and policies. These consequences can include verbal warnings, written reprimands, suspensions, or even termination also, depending on the severity and frequency of the violation. So the lastly, benefits of workplace discipline are also more important things. So the productivity, disciplined work promotes focus, work reducing distraction and time waste on conflicts or non-productive activities such as legal compliance. So adhering to discipline helps the organization comply with labor laws and regulation preventing potential legal issues. Okay, the secondly, the content points. Based on the journal is this section will introduce the topic, its significance, and the purpose of the study. It might discuss why work discipline and work environment and employment satisfaction are important factors to consider in relation to employee performance. So, in general, the more personal respect employees are given at work, the more satisfied they will be their jobs. A lack of personal respect can cause employee in a high paying position to quit their jobs, increasing employee turnover. Then work discipline refers to employee adherence to rules, regulation, and standards set by the organization. It involves factors such as punctuality, following protocols, maintaining professionalism, and meeting deadlines. Based on the general organization, discipline is the practice of self restraint and learning to follow the best course of action, which may not be according to one desire. Discipline is a more important as it binds the employees and are also motivates them to respect their organization. Furthermore, the work environment encompasses physically, physiologically, and social aspects of the workplace. It includes factors like office layout, workspace conditions, interpersonal relationships, and organizational culture.
Hi. So now it's my turn to give the presentation. So actually I'm Muhammad Shafiq Aizat bin Samsudin. So the next view is the importance of the issue towards the organization. So the importance of the issue towards organization, which is they are have several important issue, which is the first point is higher productivity. So this point it give the happiness proof and to have large and positive effects on the productivity. So the example is more simple. The big companies such as the Google invest in employee support and sufficient to succeed in the generating happy workers. So next point is more creativity and collaboration. This point is show the positive emotions are present in a person. And also, based on other research, has shown that workers who are happy tend to be more collaborative in working towards common goals. So next point, the importance towards the organization is a lower turnover. So as we know, the turnover is very expensive. And also when the employee are satisfied, they are typically much less likely to leave. So therefore, they are quite give the more expensive to if the turnover is getting higher. Next, the next point is loyalty. So high employees satisfy great loyalty to the company, and loyal employees tend to praise the organization highly. And last point is positive company culture. People are happy working towards company goals that align with their own belief and prioritize because they are doing work and meaningful to them. That's all for the importance of the issue towards the organization.
Hi, I'm Puvan. I'm studying bachelor's degree in human capital management. For this subject, employment law and employee relation, as apart from this assignment, I was assigned to talk about what are the causes that make you to speak about this topic. First and foremost, the effectiveness of the organization. Human resource will dictate how far its future initiatives can go. One significant component that significantly affects performance is work discipline. Alright, when we talk about work discipline, workplace work discipline is necessary for the organization to meet its short and long-term goals. And next of all, I would like to tell about the research type is descriptive. What is meant by descriptive? Descriptive is a qualitative and quantitative study that explains the Academic Bureau of Work Discipline at the National Islamic University of Makassar. And last but not least, legal compliance, and it is also proof that the National Islamic University of Makassar's academic office staff's performance is significantly impacted by the working environment variable. So that's all from my part. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Hanis Udina. For my part is impact of the issue, the organization, and employees. Discipline is the awareness and willingness of the person to obey all the rules of the company and the prevailing social norms. Discipline must be enforced within the company. Without the good support from the employee discipline, it is difficult to realize company goal. And then discipline is the key to a company success to achieve the target or goals. And then the main purpose of a discipline to improve efficiency as much as possible by preventing and correcting the individual action necessary to support the smoothness of the organizational activity to achieve a maximum goal. And then company have used a fairly standardized process to handle similar personal problems such as absenteeism, poor performance, and other misconduct. Okay, I will pass to the next person. Thank you.
Okay, the first research question is there a need for a law prohibiting sexual harassment in Malaysia? Justify your answers. Yes. Sexual harassment is a serious issue that can have profound negative effects on individuals and the overall workplace environment. Here are some reasons justifying the need for a law prohibiting sexual harassment. So, the firstly, protection of human rights. Every individual has the right to work in an environment free from harassment and discrimination, including sexual harassment. The laws addressing sexual harassment underscore the importance of upholding these rights. Prevention, the second is prevention of workplace harassment. A specific law against sexual harassment establishes clear boundaries and standards of behavior helping to prevent such as behavior in the workplace. It sends a strong message that such actions are unacceptable. Moreover, promotion of gender equality. Laws against sexual harassment contribute to gender equality by addressing a form of discrimination that predominantly affects one gender. These laws promote a more inclusive and respectful workplace. Additionally, psychological and emotional well-being. Sexual harassment can have a severe psychological and emotional impacts on victims, affecting their mental well-being, job satisfaction, and overall quality of life. Then legal protection can help prevent these negative consequences. Other than that, legal resources for victims. Having a legal framework empowers victims of sexual harassment to take action against their aggressors. This provides us a means of seeking justice and holding perpetrators accountable. And finally, awareness and education. A law of against sexual harassment can lead to increased awareness and education about the issue both within organization and society at large. This can contribute to a culture shift that rejects such as behavior. That's only, madam. Thank you so much.
Okay, next, the research question is what is the constructive dismissal? And give the example of action taken by an employer which may lead an employee to claim that has been constructive dismissed. So for this point, so give the example or action taken by the employer which may lead an employee to claim that he has been constructively dismissed. Yes, the first point is yes, the employee may be dismissed without notice or paid in lieu of a notice. But the employee can send a report or claim onto unfair dismissal, unfair dismiss. And also the most important thing, the employee itself need to know their right and what's their procedure to dismiss by the employer. And also the employer need to follow the process to dismiss the employee. So the process consists of, first is need to investigate and collect all the facts and evidence. The simple words is we need to do DI first, and also we go to the investigation. Second, we need to suspension, and also most important thing is we need to inform the employer what they are possible future in action we need to conduct to them. And lastly, the outcome. So we need to give the written warning and also verbal warning before we as a company terminate or dismiss the employee. But we need to know more further. Different company, we have a different procedure. We need to follow and know the procedure and process towards that kind of company.
Hi, from the second part, I was excited to talk about what is meant by progressive discipline. For this subject, for this progressive discipline, I would like to give some further examples such as progressive discipline's main objective is to assist staff members in realizing the repercussions of their behavior and provide them with a chance to make amends before more drastic steps like terminations and etc. First and foremost, verbal caution. So this is an initial step undertaken by an employer to an employee, where an employee is consistently arriving late to work, for instance, and the supervisor has to have a one-on-one session with the employee to discuss punctuality, expectations, and importance on being on time at the workplace. Second of all, written caution. The written caution is taken as a secondary step after the primary step, verbal caution. Written caution, after giving the employee a verbal warning and they still show up late, the supervisor provides a written warning mentioning the time and date of the previous talk, as I mentioned earlier about the verbal caution communication, and this regards the written caution as the secondary step. The third step, which as we all known as termination or also known as suspension. Suspension usually occurs when an employee got into a serious trouble or a major argument with a co-worker. The employee is therefore subject to a 3-day suspension. Suspension and termination is a different perspective. Suspension, where it stands only for 3 or to 7 days, but termination is completely terminated from the organization and the sector that they are working in. So these are the progressive discipline where an employer or a supervisor undertakes in an organization to provide a greater outcome in organization. So that's all from my part. Thank you so much.
Next is the example of misconduct, which is, in my opinion, are serious enough to justify their dismiss. So there are several examples for the misconduct. In my opinion, they are serious enough. First is sexual harassment, theft, forcing documentation, and also abuse of power. So this point is very serious to justify the employee dismissal, because the first important point is there are lack of integrity. So what you mean the integrity, which is they have no dignity to conduct their works and also their responsibility, especially for the theft and also the falsifying documentation. For the sexual harassment, this is very important and very serious offense. We need to we need to dismiss this kind of employee, because they will be disturb the others and also make the not a good environment workers work in one of the company. And next is health and safety breach, drug and alcohol use, and also good and property damage. So these three kind of point and also the example shown they are lack of attitude and also have a bad character. So this point we need to dismiss from the company and also the organization. The more crucial on drug and alcohol. I focus more on drugs. So drug is the number one Malaysian enemy. So we need to strike out early from our organization who are committed in a drug offense. So they have no justify at all why we are know our employee are using the abuse of drug.
Okay, the next one is fine dismissal case under misconduct. Okay, in this case, I choose Anwar Abdul Rahim versus Bayer Malaysia Sdn Bhd, which is in 1998. The Court of Appeal further explained the ingredient of the constructive dismissal. The constitute a breach of implying terms not necessary to show that the employer intend any repudiation of the contract. The tribunal function is to look the employer conduct as a whole and determine whether it is such it affects judge reasonable and sensibly in such that the employee cannot be accepted to put up with it. The conduct of the party has to be looked at has a whole and its cumulative impact assessed. Okay, and the last one is conclusion. The study included that the current code of discipline was effective and this had increased employee knowledge, broadened employees' perspective, extend the application of knowledge to work, and promoted employees. The study included that the disciplinary procedure were satisfactory, and this was found to be that the procedure put in place and the employee was satisfied with the procedure, and for they know the content of the document, the management recognized the employee suggestion and the individual effort were recognized in the organization performance. The study also include that the effective disciplinary policy was effective in that the organization has helped in controlling employee behavior by ensuring teamwork and reduce time and source wastage, which reflect positively on the organization. Okay, so that's all for me. Thank you.